gotta find the pour spout. Oh, right there. There it is.
Oh my gosh. Dang, you can hear the metal expanding.
You can almost see me in the reflection right there in the corner. So just popped them out of the tin. They're still crazy hot.
Ooh. Dang.
But for now, I wanted to answer some questions because I haven't really done like any sort of update in a long time. And people have actually been commenting, which has been a surprise to me. So here we go. So he said, what kind of lifting pouring tongs do you use? In terms of pouring tongs, I have two different things. I use these, which my dad found at a dump.
Set them in some light.
Oh yeah. My dad found these at a dump. And these are tongs that retract pretty long. I'm guessing about like just over 2 feet. But I really have no idea where they are just because we found them at the dump. So that's that. And I kind of use these when my lid is off and I reach down in and I clamp it and I bring it up and I set it on the ground. From there, I use this huge pair of channel locks and I grip onto the side of the crucible. Kind of like with this. And I grip onto the side and then from there, I just pour it sideways like that. I plan to grab something better. I've seen people using this little thing, and basically it's just a big steel rod, and it has a ring at the end of it. And so what you do is you'd set that on the ground, and you'd set your crucible on top, and you'd lift up that, so the ring catches on the bottom of it. And then that way you could just, you know, pour it sideways, and it's way easier. Let's see. Next question, what are the dimensions for the A10 crucible? So for this crucible right here, I put a link to it in the description of one of my videos, and it's about, I don't have the exact dimensions, but I'm going to give you the dimensions of it just being a bit bigger, so that way you can compensate for how big your inner chamber needs to be. So it's about 8 inches tall, just over 8 inches tall I'd say, and then it's about 6.5 wide, almost 7. So if you're looking for something like that, what I did was when I was searching for a form tube was I just brought this to Home Depot with me and I would set this down and I would set form tubes over top of it and I would try and use my tongs to lift it out and see if it was a comfortable size. So that's something that you can do. What kind of hose do you use from the regulator to the pipe? So this is actually a subject that not a lot of people cover, so I'm going to cover this right now. And I did respond to it, but I don't think I made myself very clear. So this is the propane tank, and this is the regulator. From my burner to the regulator, I have a 1/4 inch length of hose that's about 20 feet long. So just like that. Now this actually comes in 3 separate pieces. This, the hose, and then this pressure gauge right here. You can buy this at any store. This will probably be like, this is a 100 PSI one, even though this regulator can only push 60. And it cost me about 20 bucks. This regulator is about 40 to 50, and I can again put links in the description of this video to where you can find everything. And then for the hose length, this was just given to me by a friend, and it's a super long length, so that way you can keep it away from the foundry, and that's just a safety concern. So yeah, so it goes from a 1/4 inch hose out of the regulator, and then into this, into my burner, I have the 1/4 inch, then I have a hex bushing that goes from 1/4 to 3/8, and then I have a 3/8 inch coupler, and then another hex bushing from 3/8 to 1/8, and then this is what all these pipe nipples are, is 1/8 inch. So that's that. For the next question, okay, do this.
Oh. There you go.
Yeah, okay. Next question, Blackhawk706 says, what kind of runtime do you get from 1 tank of propane? From 1 tank of propane, which is just this that I have right here, just the standard Blue Rhino, I judge it by the amount of pours that I get to do from 1 tank, from 1 full tank. So I usually do around 3 to 4 pours, and that depends on what pressure I run it at. Typically, if I'm busy like taking slag out or adding cans, I turn it to a lower pressure. So I usually turn it down to just under 20. And if I run it and I'm running it and I want to melt things, then I run it at about, I'd say 25 to 30, anywhere from there. So yeah, and that gets me about running it from at 30 pounds pressure for around 15 minutes will get me a pour of me constantly adding cans. So, and I get around 4 pours in 1 tank of propane. And I'm looking into getting bigger sizes of propane tanks because, you know, being like 20 bucks in exchange at like Safeway or whatever store, it can get kind of tedious and you can end up spending a lot more money. So it would be cheaper just to get a bigger tank, which will have a greater initial cost, but then, you know, you'd have to refill it less. So anyway, hope those questions helped, and feel free to subscribe if you want. I don't care. I'm not the boss of you.